The secret of man's being is not only to live but to have something to live for. I gave up caring about anything, and all the problems disappeared. To go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else's. People really do like seeing their best friends humiliated. A large part of the friendship is based on humiliation, and that is an old truth, well known to all intelligent people. Only through suffering can we find ourselves. Intelligence alone is not nearly enough when it comes to acting wisely. Nothing is more seductive for a man than his freedom of conscience, but nothing is a greater cause of suffering. There is immeasurably more left inside than what comes out in words. Nature doesn't ask your permission. It doesn't care about your wishes, or whether you like its laws or not. You're obliged to accept it as it is, and consequently all its results as well. Let us not forget that the reasons for human actions are usually incalculably more complex and diverse than we tend to explain them later, and are seldom clearly manifest. The more I detest men individually, the more ardent becomes my love for humanity. Besides, nowadays, almost all capable people are terribly afraid of being ridiculous, and are miserable because of it. Man is a creature that can get accustomed to anything, and I think that is the best definition of him. Wealth is the number of things one can do without. If God does not exist, then everything is permissible. To be in love is not the same as loving. You can be in love with a woman and still hate her. What man wants is simply independent choice, whatever that independence may cost and wherever it may lead. To love is to suffer, and there can be no love otherwise. The degree of civilization in a society can be judged by entering its prisons. Believe to the end, even if all men went astray and you were left the only one faithful. Bring your offering even then and praise God in your loneliness. The more incompetent one feels, the more eager he is to fight. I am strongly convinced that not only too much consciousness but even any consciousness at all is a sickness. The more you succeed in loving, the more you'll be convinced at the existence of God and the immortality of your soul. There is nothing higher and stronger and more wholesome and useful for life in later years than some good memory, especially a memory connected with childhood, with home. From 100 rabbits you can't make a horse. The man who is happy is fulfilling the purpose of existence. To love another person is to see them as God intended them to be. Man has it all in his hands, and it all slips through his fingers from sheer cowardice. I think the devil doesn't exist, but man has created him, he has created him in his own image and likeness. Men like to count their troubles, few calculate their happiness. The world will be saved by beauty. The Russian soul is a dark place. Perhaps I really regard myself as an intelligent man only because throughout my entire life I've never been able to start or finish anything. Lack of originality, everywhere, all over the world, from time immemorial, has always been considered the foremost quality and the recommendation of the active, efficient and practical man. The death of a child is the greatest reason to doubt the existence of God. At first, art imitates life. Then life will imitate art. Then life will find its very existence from the arts. If one wanted to crush and destroy a man entirely, to mete out to him the most terrible punishment, all one would have to do would be to make him do work that was completely and utterly devoid of usefulness and meaning. What is hell? I maintain that it is the suffering of being unable to love. Destroy my desires, eradicate my ideals, show me something better, and I will follow you. Men do not accept their prophets and slay them, but they love their martyrs and worship those whom they have tortured to death. Man, so long as he remains free, has no more constant and agonizing anxiety than find as quickly as possible someone to worship. If you were to destroy the belief in immortality in mankind, not only love but every living force on which the continuation of all life in the world depended, would dry up at once. Happiness does not lie in happiness, but in the achievement of it. The soul is healed by being with children. There are things which a man is afraid to tell even to himself, and every decent man has a number of such things stored away in his mind. It seems, in fact, as though the second half of a man's life is made up of nothing but the habits he has accumulated during the first half. The cleverest of all, in my opinion, is the man who calls himself a fool at least once a month.